What up, Snapchat? So, today I have a story for you guys. This is probably the main question that people ask all video makers. I mean, video makers, YouTube people, anybody that does anything on social media. This is the main question. Do we date our followers? I say it all depends on the person because I keep in contact with a few video makers and I have some that actually date followers. I have some that don't even talk to their followers. I have done it, I'm not gonna lie. But my biggest worry about that is if I end up with a crazy follower, somebody that's gonna do what they did to my friend. Sure, they ended up breaking up and she completely bashed him on social media. And then, everybody's gonna believe the girl, so he ended up turning out to be the bad guy when he really wasn't. I don't know how to start this story. I guess you can say that this is a time where I got really cocky with this whole video thing and I was humbled down very, very fast. It happens, I'm human just like everybody else, and you're making videos and they're going everywhere and people are like, oh my god, I have a crush on you, like, en serio. So you kind of get lost in it. If I sound like I dated like 20 or 30 followers, that's not what happened. I've been making videos almost 2 years now and I've only dated 4 followers. They sound like a lot, but it's actually a little bit because my other video makers know they go on dates all the time with their followers and I try to avoid that. Anyways, I started making videos officially November of 2014. That's when I really decided, like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna start doing this video. Even since then, I've always replied to people. I started making Snapchat. I started, replying to DMs. So I've always just been very friendly because I was starting. Because I was starting, it was easier for me to reply to the same person over and over because instead of like now that I get 300-400 messages a day, back then it was only about 50 or 60. When I started, I was making videos off Instagram and my personal Facebook. So because it was my personal Facebook, my friends were sharing my video. That's when I made what's called a fan page. And then I started putting all my videos there so people could just like the page and not be my friend on my personal Facebook. On my personal Facebook, there was this girl that kept writing to me and she was of Pentecostal background too. And then she was telling me how now she likes girls and so forth. Just that alone, the conversation was like really quick, really good because we had a lot of stuff in common. So I liked talking to her the most. That was literally December. I started making videos in November and December, this girl started hitting me up. And then one day I'm like, let me go to her Facebook. Let me see who I'm talking to. I started to notice that because she was very direct. She was from New York. So, New York girls are very, very straightforward. So I started to notice that she was flirting with me, but I wanted to see who was flirting with me. When I finally go to her Facebook, I was like, oh my god, like she was real pretty. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna flirt back. So flirting back and forth or whatever, we ended up actually talking for 4 months. I mean, she was in New York. It was a long distance thing, but we really tried to make it work. Anyways, long story short, obviously because of the long distance, we just stopped talking. We were like, I mean, I did go out to New York to see her. Like, I know I'm crazy, right? So I'm not gonna lie, I was heartbroken because I was like, man, I actually really like this girl, but we didn't work out, etc., etc. Life goes on, and now her and I are really good friends. The first girl. The second girl, literally, when I had just broken up with that New York girl, or not broken up because we weren't official, but we stopped talking. I stopped talking like on a Monday or a Tuesday of like April. But that following Saturday, some new girl on Snapchat was like, oh, I have a crush on you, da 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 da. The whole I had a crush on you for a while, but this is the first time that I admit it, blah, blah, blah. I never really pay attention to that because I get that not a lot. I don't get that a lot. Don't get me wrong. It happens. Sometimes people write that to me and I don't take it to the heart because I'm like, maybe that was just like a little crush. When you're really persistent, you act differently. Anyways, she was persistent. But anyways, her and I started talking and I'm like, all right. But I told her, I was like, listen, I literally just stopped talking to someone. So you have to give me time. So I just thought that we were just going to be talking and texting, calling each other. I was like, all right, whatever. But she just came on a little too strong for me. Top of the whole coming on too strong, she was really, really jealous. And I don't do well if you are a really jealous girl because I'm a really friendly person. That definitely didn't work out because I had to cut that quick because she wanted like a title and me to post her. And y'all know I don't be posting people I date. And like months after that, there was a girl in my DM and the same thing, whatever. She caught my attention. We went on one date. That is all. The reason it only lasted one date is because there really wasn't no chemistry. Like she was pretty and all, but there was just nothing there. This is the girl that humbled me. One day I was on Facebook and I was reading through my comments, which I rarely do. It's rare that you actually catch me reading comments. See a girl that put, oh my god, women crush Wednesday, and I was like, oh my god, I'm never anyone's woman crush. So I was all flattered and I wrote to thank her. I don't know, one thing led to another and we ended up just forming this big conversation. And I talk a lot, so if you want to ever get me, like just hold a good conversation. Write to me, even my personal friends or Snapchat or anything, and the conversation goes, hey, what's up? Yeah, good. Okay, yeah, that's definitely not going anywhere. The conversation started getting good, and I'm like, hold on, who am I talking to? So I go to her Facebook, and I'm like, oh, she could be my woman crush Wednesday too. She was really pretty. One thing led to another, and she kept writing to me, oh my God, I'm fangirling right now. I can't believe you're writing to me, this and this and that. So she kept making a big deal that Biggie Graham was writing to her. I guess I was kind of like a big mistake because for the first time, it was like she was really making a big deal that I was writing to her. And I was like, damn, like she really likes Biggie Graham. Okay, so with time, I was confused. I was like, I don't know if she likes me or not. But then she kind of flirted a little bit more, so I got the hint. You guys know me, I'm horrible at reading girls. Like if you like me, just write it in black and white because if you're hinting it, it's gonna go over my head. I never know when girls like me. I really don't. Her hints were actually really good. So anyways, I asked her on a date and she agreed and I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm finally gonna take this girl on a date. It had been a while since I went on a date. Whatever, we went to the movies. Yeah, no, I keep it simple, the movies or whatever. And then I thought she wanted to go home after that and she's like, no, let's, do you want to go home? I want to go home because I was actually having a good time with her. So she came up with this idea where she used to live in this apartment and there was like this thing with boards in the back of the apartment. I'll explain it. It was just like this really nice thing to walk on with boards. Like you can actually walk and you can see this lake. And I was like, oh, this is really nice. I like this. Like, let me tell you guys something. If you're new to my snap, or you're gonna learn this about me, I don't ever make a first move with a girl because first of all, I suck. Secondly, I'm super shy to even do it. But since she liked the whole Biggie Graham thing, I used that to my advantage. So I was like, Biggie, go ahead and try to make a move. Like, she's gonna kiss you. You're Biggie Graham, whatever. The reason that I don't make a move is because I'm actually very self-conscious. Like, you have no idea. I'm very self-conscious, and I always feel like if I try to make the move, the girl's not gonna want to kiss me back. This whole Biggie Graham thing, I was using that to my advantage in the sense that, okay, well, she likes it. I like me, I guess. So let me just kiss her because of that. So I don't know how to make a move. So this is the only thing I could think of. We were like in front of this lake thing and it was like a little casita, like a little house. And it kind of reminded me of The Notebook. And I'm like holding her hands and I try to bring her closer to me. And I'm like, okay, that looks like it's a good move. So I do it. And while I'm bringing her, instead of going like that, she goes womp womp womp, and she goes no, and she pulls back. I was completely embarrassed. Like this is why I don't make a move. I don't make a move because I was so afraid of that rejection. Prior to her try to do that move, I was 32 years old. I'm 33 now, so this was last year. Prior to that, I was 19 the last time I made a move and the girl rejected me. It had taken me 13 years to try to make a move on another girl. And now, oh, after that, forget it. It's going to be another 13 before I try again. I was so embarrassed that, remember, I told you we were by a lake and, it's Florida. There's crocodiles and alligators everywhere. I wanted to jump into the lake and get eaten by a crocodile because that's how embarrassed I was. I could not look at this girl. I was like, oh my God. Oh, I was humbled quick. She didn't kiss me was because she doesn't kiss anybody on the first day. But I didn't know that all the time that we talked. That feels like something that she could have told me. Like, if y'all don't kiss on the first date, please tell the person, like, throw that in there, throw a hint, like, oh, mira, by the way, I don't really kiss on the first date, and that is fine. But I'm not done. I'm not done. We got to know each other again. We went on, like, another date. By the third date, I'm like, let me try it again, porque tú sabes, it's third date. She rejected me again. So by that, I'm like, tú sabes qué? I'm done. Let me just grab my stuff. I'm out. And I was just trying to make myself all hard right now, but no, that's not what happened. I still chased her. I really liked her. And I'm like, why is she not kissing me? Ways, finally, she told me the truth. And she's actually one of the few women in my life who was very honest with me. What it was is that she had only had one boyfriend like her whole life and they had been together for 3 years and they had recently broken up. So she wasn't ready to kiss anyone else, you know what I mean? She told me, she's like, listen, no matter how nice you were, she's like, I couldn't feel what you wanted me to feel because I had just broken up with the love of my life. It made absolutely like perfect sense. I was like, yeah, of course. I was like, I wouldn't expect anything from you. But anyways, long story short, we're friends now and she's back together with that guy. Happy and I'm happy that she's happy and I was happy that she was honest with me. Sometimes you guys don't understand. If you're honest with somebody, that goes a long way. To this day, I still make fun of her. I'll be like, we never kissed, right? And then I'll send her the little crocodile emoji, like, oh, this is how you made me feel. I will never forget that day. I just wanted to jump into the lake. And after her, I have not gone out with any other follower. Anytime a follower is like, oh, I have a crush on you, I'm like, no, biggie, don't even think about it. All of this was last year because it was around the time that my nephew was born. So it was around August. So it's going to be August next month. And yeah, it's been a whole year that I don't talk to followers. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys because, like I said, it's a common question that everyone always asks. So I wanted to answer it and give you the feedback of, of how that went for me. Like I said, I got cocky for like 2 seconds and then God was like, girl, what do you think? You Jennifer Lopez? You Kim Kardashian? And he humbled me down quick. Of the story is if you start succeeding in anything that you're doing, do not lose yourself because I promise the moment that you do, you will be humbled down quick. I know I was and I learned my lesson.